All right. I'll just start with DeMar. That's quite an event that took place there. I mean, that there are a lot of things that you can take out of that from a humanity standpoint. We're all pulling for DeMar as he goes forward here. We actually had a team prayer for him yesterday with our team chaplain. So, thinking that any bit of extra that we can get to support him, we're trying to do from afar. But our prayers are also with his family and as they go forward. So with that, I could talk about our injuries here. Harrison Bucker hurt his back. His back spasmed up today, so he didn't practice. It's getting better as we go here, but he did have some back spasms, and we just pulled off him. And then guys that were limited, McCole went out and did some good work today. And we're just going to see how he feels tomorrow. It's day by day. He's trying his heart out to get back in here, man. And L'Jarius Sneed with the hip pointer, Sky Moore with the hand, came out and did just a few things. That hand's still swollen though. I mean, he's not and sore. He split. I think. Have I talked to you since? He split his hand. His hand split open there. Okay. So, and had sutures put in. So he's recovering from that. I don't remember where we went with this. So we're off the schedule. That we did this out of respect for DeMar and his situation. So, and then Joe Tooney, I had mentioned, hurt his ankle. He's practiced the last 2 days, so he's doing good there. We look forward to the challenge of playing the Raiders. We just got done doing our 2-minute work study, and one of the things you notice real quick is they're in every game. Not that you didn't know that, but they're in every game right to the end. And there were plenty of 2-minute plays at the end of games. So they've got a good football team. Their young quarterback sure did a nice job the other day, and they're well coached. So again, we look forward to that challenge. Though that it's Raiders and it's Chiefs, and doesn't get any better than that. So we're looking forward to going out there and playing them. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
Andy, was there any thought that there may not be games played this weekend? How you guys just kind of gone across that in conjunction?
Yeah, so you don't know in a situation like this. So we just listened and kind of played it by ear with what the league has told us. And so we go forward and we've practiced and we're doing our thing. So, but in this case, you're listening to whatever the league office gives you, and we trust their decision making. I mean, I thought they did a great job the other night, and that's not an easy thing. I mean, that's a tough situation, and they took it in their hand to cancel or postpone a game. That's it's a bold move for a great reason. So.
Were you watching live at the time? I know you were going to be in and out of doing things, but
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, it was terrible. So I felt just like everybody else did. It's terrible. So I'm just, I'm glad he's making progress from what I've gathered, like you have. I mean, we're all listening. So sounds like he's making progress, and that's the most important thing, right? So.
But understandably, this is affecting players' mental makeups throughout the league, and I'm sure here too. How do you manage, I guess, and balance that with the urgency of having to prepare for a game on Saturday?
Yeah, so with Dr. T and our crew here, we've we addressed the issue right away. I mean, this is real, and it's so we didn't tiptoe around it. I mean, we addressed it with the team and talked to them, and they know they have counsel there if they need it. The league's got counsel for them if they need it. So, that's how we went about it.
And just to clarify, when you say addressed, you mean beyond just caring for DeMar as far as these guys potentially maybe seeing themselves in his shoes at all? Or anything?
Well, yeah, I mean, they saw it like we did. So just to know that there's help for them if they need to talk to somebody, that we're available. Whether it's religiously, psychologically, we have all the tools. Plus, the league has tools to help you through that. And coaches. I mean, we're here the same way. So if a player were to need help or the coach needs help, it's there for them too.
You've known Sean for a long time. McDermott coached with him and everything. Have you had a chance to reach out to him? Can you imagine what he's going through?
Yeah. I texted him, both he and Leslie, and but I've stayed away from that. I mean, they've got enough on their plate that they're dealing with, and I know how they're wired. They're great people, and I can imagine where their mind's at now.
This is really unprecedented, right? We haven't seen a situation like this. This has been such a next man up mentality in football. This is different than that. There's no roadmap to how to deal with this with players, is there really?
No, I mean, we've had people paralyzed, unfortunately, and guys have worked through that. I think everybody's kind of waiting for more information on this situation, and but what they saw was obviously, devastating. I mean, that was a tough deal. I would say, I mean, it's so. You guys were watching it, so it's that just kick in the gut feeling.
Andy, with Harrison Butker, do you feel like you need to bring another kicker in, or do you?
Yeah, there's a chance. Well, there's a chance we do. He's doing okay, but just from a security standpoint, there's a chance we do that. We haven't quite got that far, but there's a chance you might do that, and that's nothing with. I mean, Harrison. We have full trust in Harrison, so I don't want to start that kind of stuff.
And McCole Hardman, I believe today is the day you have to either activate him or not activate him. You're going to put him up on the active roster.
Yeah, so Brett's going to go through that and make sure they've got everything covered there. We'll just see how that goes from here. I didn't talk to him here before I came in about that. So,
a couple more guys. And is there anything that the team is going to do for DeMar? I know some teams have donated to his charity event. I don't know if there's anything that the team has decided to do.
Yeah,
in a similar fashion or otherwise.
Yeah, we'll just see how that goes. We haven't done anything yet. No.
What's it say about how this league is a family, the way everyone's responding and reacting and supporting DeMar in the building?
Yeah, I think it's phenomenal. I mean, that's a great part about us as humans. We come to the rescue, which is, we probably need more of that. And a lot of different situations, but that one for sure was, what kind of unity, love, it's great.
Coach, how do you go into this final game? If nothing had happened last week, you'd be going into the season finale, knowing your number one seed, knowing if you were playing starters, knowing whatever. So in light of what's going on, what the toll it's taken on each player, plus not knowing how all the cards are going to fall out according to the seeding, what is the approach mentally you're taking this game?
Yeah, so we know whatever scenario, we've got to go play to try to win the football game. And that's what we have to do. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered before. We would have still had to do that. So that's what we're going to do. And the players have worked through practice and done a nice job with it up to this point. So
we'll go two more. We'll go Nate and then Sam.
Andy, you've been obviously leading the head football team for 24 years. You've seen just about every scenario. From your vantage point, watching live like the rest of us, just what came to mind when you saw how Sean McDermott and Zach Taylor tried to both see what their players were going through, obviously digest their own feelings about the situation, and obviously the decision they came together to make?
Yeah, I think it was great. I mean, it was the right decision. Absolutely right decision. The game didn't need to go on after that. So I thought both of them together did a great job. Great leadership there. And with the league. And with the league.
Last one, Sam.
And you're obviously very sensitive to this situation. You also play a game this weekend. Has it been difficult to turn the page and prepare this week for your own game?
Well, what we've done is we've tried to put our focus in on taking care when we're doing the football part, taking care of the football part. And, that's where we've been at. So I think it was difficult that night and in the morning, but, there were some positive reports that came out, and we're pulling that direction. We're trying to take a positive outlook on it the best we can in this situation. And the fact that DeMar is making some improvement, I think is great, and he's a strong kid. So, I think, we're pulling he pulls all the way through it. So,
All right, thank you.
okay. All right, good.
All right, guys. How you doing?
How has this affected you, seeing what happened to DeMar, thinking about it, watching it, praying for him?
I think it affects everyone in this league in a way where it really puts things in perspective. We go out there every week, and I'm not gonna say we take it for granted, but you go out there and you play a game that you love and you just enjoy it. And you don't think about things like that happening. And whenever something like this happens, I think it impacts everybody. I mean, obviously, my prayers are with DeMar, his family, the Buffalo Bills, the Bengals, everyone that was in attendance at that game. But I mean, it sent chills through my body when I was watching it, and all I did was just sit there and pray for him, because that's all you can do when you feel like you can't help. And so, like I said, I've been watching updates just like everybody and trying to make sure that first off, that DeMar is healthy and he can get back, because at the end of the day, we're people, we're not just players, and I think everybody understands that even more now.
Do you look at the game any differently at all? I mean, other than just the care for DeMar in that moment, what else goes through your mind just looking at the game?
Yeah, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's a game. I think that's we get lost in that sometimes because we have so much riding on it, and we're trying to win championships and do all this different type of stuff. But it's a game, and there's people playing it, and I think you just continue to look at that. And I think the players, we have a good understanding of that, or hopefully you do. But I think you get caught up through a season of just how can I get myself better to win a game, instead of just taking it every single day and just taking it for what it is, and it's not promised. And so I think that's just it puts stuff in perspective for you. But you still come to the building and you just have a greater respect for the game and a greater respect for the people around you, because they're giving everything they have every single time.
Andy Reid said that you guys had a prayer with the team chaplain yesterday. Mm-hmm. Just how have you guys as a team kind of got yourselves mentally prepared, not only to play a game Saturday, but also just to try to digest what you saw and try to move forward?
Yeah, I mean, especially yesterday, it was hard. I mean, when you come back from watching that moment, I mean, I was up all night because you're just on your phone, and I'm like on Twitter just hitting latest, just see if I can just see any more updates to see that he's in better condition than the last time you had seen him. But you get in the building, you get around your teammates, and you just tell them how much you appreciate them, because you don't do that enough. And as you kind of get through this week, you still have that at the back of your head. And I mean, I'm at practice, and it's like the first thing I do when I get back in the building is you go look for updates, or you ask Rick, or you ask Coach Reid. And you try to do your job, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you can have that in the back of your mind, because that's what's most important.
You think you guys should be playing today or Sunday or Saturday?
It's hard for me to say. I mean, it's not something where I can control it either way. All I can do is come in here and give everything I have in the building, and then when I go home, just appreciate my family. And so I know there's a job to do, and you have to go in there and do it. But at the end of the day, you just want to make sure, like I said, you want to make sure he's all right, because that's what's most important. And like I said, it's a game that we all love and we all put everything we have into, but it's a game at the end of the day.
all things considered, how difficult has it been to switch when you're practicing into football mode, or does that serve you guys as maybe a helpful distraction just by getting back to work?
Yeah, it can be a little bit of a distraction, just because when you're playing, you're focused on the play and everything like that. But like you said, when you get to the sidelines, or if when you're in between plays at practice, I mean, that's still there a little bit. And so all you can do is hope and pray that you get good updates every single time one comes out, and that whenever he's healthy, we can move forward and continue to play this game that we all love.
You're pretty close, I think, to Josh and I suppose to Mitch still also. I wonder if you've been in touch directly with either of those guys or any other.
Yeah. I just texted them and said, I was praying for them and their team. I mean, obviously it impacts us, but I mean, they're guys that you go to work with every single day. You're brothers. I mean, people say it, but you are brothers. You see these people more than sometimes in your family, and so you build this brotherhood. And I just wanted to let them know that I'm doing whatever I can from far away to pray for them and just be with them. And luckily they have great leaders over there, and I'm sure they've grown even closer from this, and they're going to continue to do whatever they can to help DeMar and his family.
Patrick, how different is it going to be for everybody in this league when y'all just touch the field just for warm-ups or just leading up to the game this weekend?
I mean, it's hard to say. We're going to be the first game back, and so it's hard to say. I mean, there's a job that you have to do. You put all this work in for months to try to go out there and play your best football. But when you get on that field, I'm sure it'll be a little bit of a weird feeling because it was such a scary incident that was terrifying. I think everybody saw. And so we will see when we get out there. But I know our guys will just get out there, and hopefully when we get to play in the game again, it can be fun and everybody can enjoy it like we have our whole lives.
Patrick, obviously injuries are part of the game, and every time you go on the field, you recognize that. But do you really think, like, when you go on the field, that something like this could happen to you?
I mean, people say it, and you've seen injuries happen that have been major injuries and stuff like that. But I'd never seen anything where someone had been getting CPR and stuff like that on the field. I don't think I don't know any of us have seen it. It hadn't happened in such a long time. And you don't think about that stuff when you're stepping on the field. You think about how can I win the game? How can I do this and this? And like I said, it puts in perspective that when you go on that field, that anything can happen. And so you got to take this game for what it is. You got to enjoy it, have fun, do it, leave everything you have out there. But at the same time, it's just a game. And when we say that, we have to know that we're going out there and we are putting our lives on the line. And I think we forget that because we've done it so many times and nothing's happened.
Okay, guys. Thanks, Patrick.
Thank you.
Juan is coming up next to you guys.
1 or 2. How has it affected you? What happened to DeMar?
It's really scary, like saying things like that happen on the football field, knowing that we play the same exact sport as I mean, it's him. It's a contact sport, and it's scary because it can affect us. It can be us that's in that same exact situation. So all I can do right now is just pray for Demar and hope that he gets better and hope that it doesn't happen anymore this season.
Playing safety, making tackles, I mean, you never think about that, I'm sure. But seeing what happened, I'm sure you were watching.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of thoughts went through your mind about the way you play the game?
I mean, I don't really think it's gonna like slow me down at all. I'm gonna keep playing the sport the way that I've always been taught to play, and that's fast and physical. But it helps you think a little bit more about what you're doing, how you're gonna go in and tackle, like keeping your head up, just trying to prevent things like that. But I feel like what happened with him was like a freakish accident, and that's something that you can't control. So, like I said, I'm just gonna continue playing the way that I play.
Juan, you guys played in the same conference in college. I was wondering if you maybe remember playing against him, and did you get to know him by chance?
I did not. Like, I didn't even know that he played for Pitt until like everything that happened. But I just looked into it a little bit and saw that he played, but I don't remember playing against him at all.
Coach Reid mentioned you guys had a prayer with the team chaplain yesterday. What's just been the overall sentiment of the team trying to gather around together and pray for Demar, but also realize that Saturday you got to kind of turn your focus to a game?
I mean, you have to focus on two things. Obviously, this is a brotherhood. Everyone comes together. We want everyone to stay safe, so we had a team prayer, and we're trying to like stay focused because we have to play the Raiders. The Raiders are a really good team, and that's not a team that you can just like push aside. So we're gonna have to focus in and also just continue praying for Demar's health.
You feel it's hard for all the players to even step out on the field Saturday?
I mean, it could possibly affect some players just knowing that like guys might step on the field trying to play a little tentative just because they don't want things like that to happen. But it's just part of the game. Like, this is a game that we play. We know what we sign up for. Guys go out there and we're physical every single day. So just hopefully that everyone can stay healthy and safe.
One, you might think about injuries, but certainly I don't think any of us ever thought about somebody getting CPR on the field.
Mm-hmm. Like, that's crazy. Like, honestly, like when I saw it, like I watched it multiple times just trying to like figure out what was going on. And when it first happened, like we kind of like brainwashed to think that it's like always about someone's head. And like that's what I thought it was. But then like I slowed it down a little bit. His head really wasn't even like hit. I saw him stand up, he looked fine, and then he fainted and passed out. And that was really scary. Like it definitely touched me when I was watching that, and I was praying for him all night.
Well, you guys are obviously a tight-knit group. How important is it to check in on each other because you just don't know how different people handle traumatic situations?
I mean, it's huge. Like, mental health is everything, obviously. You have to always check up on your brothers because it can be a struggle. It can affect someone else differently than others. So just constantly checking up on them, see how things are going, just to make sure that their mind is in the right place, and bring your brother along if they're not in the right place, and just let them know that you're there for them.
Do you feel like this is something that would have some of the guys like, do I want to continue doing this?
I definitely do. Like there might be some guys that's like on the back end of their career. I think that will affect them a little bit more. But if there's the type of guys that just like letting that affect them, I hope they can come to me and talk to me, because I'll let them know that it'll be okay, and let them know that it's fine to continue playing, because things like that could happen. You can go out here and get in a car accident that can stop you from playing football. Things like that can happen any day, anywhere.
You've really grown into one of the defensive leaders in the room. Did you do anything extra intentionally this week just to make sure guys knew that you personally around?
I really didn't do anything. Actually, we just talked about what happened, and like y'all have already been saying, just making sure that everyone's mind is right and make sure everyone's mind is clear, and that's pretty much all I can do. And just keep bringing guys together and continue to pray for his health.
Juan, you guys are a brotherhood on and off the field, right? Have you been able to reach out to any of the Bills players?
No, I haven't. I've been seeing like a bunch of guys post and things like that. I don't think I really do it. Just like I'll post a heart just to let them know that I see what they're going through. But I really haven't talked to a lot of guys for Buffalo.
Well, I can't imagine how easy it's going to be to go over a game plan. Maybe that's a good distraction to get your mind off of other things. But when you look at the Raiders, they're a little different than the last time you faced them.
Mm-hmm.
So when you can focus on the game, what are you looking at with this other quarterback?
I mean, he's a really good quarterback. We see him as a gunslinger. The guy, he's super confident. You would think that since he was a backup, he'll come in and be a little shaky. But I watched the game last week, and I mean, he stepped up and played like a heck of a game. I think he played like one of the best games probably that they had all season. I think he can control it. He can move the ball. We just have to focus in and show up to play because the Raiders are a really good team.
Okay, thanks, Juan.
All right.
Marquez, how does what you saw Monday night with Demar affect you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we all played this game and we put our lives on the line, and to see one of our football brothers, in this fraternity of football, go down like that and lose his life, it's hard. We put our lives on the line every single play, and a lot of people take that for granted, and it's tough to see. It's tough to sleep at night because that could have been any one of us. It could have been myself, any one of those guys in the locker room. And I think every football player, around the country felt that.
Andy Reid mentioned you guys had a team prayer yesterday. Just how's the team kind of unifying in your eyes, trying to get together?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's tough, man, because we still have to go to work, and but we still feel that, and it's not a second that goes by that we don't think about us being in that position, or how he's doing, or how his health is doing, because any given play that could be any one of us. So trying to balance getting ready for Vegas and seeing a young man fight for his life is tough to do.
Do you want to play, Marquez? Do you want to play on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is a game that I love, and I never take those games for granted. I pray before I walk on the field every single Sunday, or Saturday in this case, just for my health and my teammates' health and everybody who plays these games' health. So it's still a dream of mine that I still take very serious. And obviously, health is just the first thing that we all think about when we step on the field. But when you get out there and you start to put those fears and doubts, that's when more injuries happen. So we try to take those worries and fears and anxieties out. But at the end of the day, our health is the most important thing. So.
How important has it been to check in on each other, just because you don't know how everyone handles traumatic situations?
No, I mean, I think it's more important now than ever. Because as football players, we're taught to be tough and not let anything affect us, and have thick skin and battle through adversity. But that was real life. Obviously football is football. You can, get on Twitter and let whatever anyone wants to say about you, about your gameplay, not affect you. But when you see a young man, fight for his life, that's far more important. So I think just being able to call on your brother and say, hey man, you can lean on me, or, hit me up if you need something is huge.
As a pass catcher, that's one of the more dangerous positions that you're playing. And so how important is it that you find a way to stay locked in the game Saturday, just for your own safety, just making sure that you're okay?
I mean, you just play the game how you've always played it. That was a routine play, that no one would expected that to be the outcome of it. We thought it was a normal play that we've seen a million times. So you can't go in there with fears that it can happen to you, because it can happen to you, but it can happen to you on a routine play or a big hit. So it's a part of the game. But obviously, we don't want to see anyone, in that position ever again.
You mentioned earlier on Twitter, actually, you mentioned that nobody takes this stuff for granted sometimes with the human. Do you feel that sometimes we as fans and the journalists, everything, sometimes you just step back and realize, all right, you guys are human? Do you feel that happens enough? Or
No, I don't think it happens nearly enough. I think they see us as numbers on a jersey playing for a football team, their favorite team. And, I respect that as a fan, but we are people too. And I think that gets lost in translation quite a bit, because they forget that we're human beings with feelings and families and friends and emotions. And we're not just a number on the back of the jersey or Chiefs on the front of the jersey.
Marquez, the Chiefs game will be the first game since this happened, and Patrick kind of confided that it might be weird stepping out on the field. You kind of anticipate fighting some feelings, stepping out on the field, and get yourself locked before you can get locked in.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's going to be high anxiety for both sides, just because of what we've all just experienced, 5 or 6 days prior, where we all, we're all locked in on the game to see what was going to happen. That was an important game for everybody. And then to see it all just not matter anymore and see a young man fight for his life, there's obviously going to be some high anxiety in that regard.
Okay, thanks, Marquez.
Thanks, Marquez.
Marquez.